Here's a quick video for dashboard training on making widgets, a general dashboard category. So to get started, we're looking at this dashboard we're going to try and make here. And you can see we've got multiple tables here, multiple inputs of transaction data. And then we've got a whole bunch of widgets that are going to control them and about 3 charts. Now, if we zoom back, this is one of the features that makes row 64 very flexible. You can have these multiple tables come in, and they will cross-filter each other. You can wire them up so that the columns affect one another. And then they just have this sort of dependency tree of cross-links that do cross-filtering for you. So to start off, we're going to go into row 64, and I'm just going to load those 2 dashboards. So one of them is transaction data, and I'm going to load that up here. And this is just some purchasing data. And we're going to load our other chart, our other table, and that is called multiple stocks. So we're just pulling this one right here. Okay, so I'm going to rename that to transactions, and I'll rename this one to multiple stocks, multi stocks. Okay, hold on, I've got the taskbar on the way there. Okay, so now we're going to go and rough out the dashboard just so we can see what we're doing. I'm going to make a new dashboard and go back here and look at how we divide that up. So looks like we've divided it in half this way. Okay, and then we're going to go and split it here, and this one's in 2 and this one's in 3. Okay, this one's in 2, this one's in 3. And this top one is in half this way, and then in 3, and then in 4. So it's 3 in the top, and there's 4 at the bottom, which is I get by splitting twice. So this is sort of the layout for this setup. And so then we're going to go in and we're going to take, we've got this transactions at the top, so we can pull that over here. And if we look at our preview, we can see it. And we've got the multiple stocks over here. And then we want to group sum the transaction data. So we can go to the transaction data, and we're going to group sum the product versus the amount. And we can see our product category is here. These are these different description categories, and we're going to create a cross-link, and we're going to group sum it. And so it did that, no problem. And then we're just going to make a chart off of that. So we're just going to go create a new pie chart. Go to our dashboard, and we're going to drag that into here. And so for the next one, we're going to create a line chart here. And this is going to be coming off the transaction data. It's the date versus the amount. So we're going to get the date and the amount. We're going to create a crosslink. And again, we're going to group sum because we're group summing by the day when we do this. So if we have a bunch of dates and you group sum them, it'll group them by the day. That's not right. I want to, hold on. I'll just pull this in here. We want to take the date by the, oh, it is by the amount. Okay. And we're going to, oh, I did do it right. Okay, what we do is we cross-link it. We're going to group sum. But we're actually, if we look at our input, we're going to group sum not on the amount, but by the date. And if I hit enter there, and we look at the output, and run it, then we're going to have, this is going to be better. We can group it both ways, right? So this is going to be better for a line chart. So we're going to take this and then create a line chart. And there's our line chart. I'm stick the amount in the top corner. And we'll put that in the dashboard over here. So the next one we're going to do, we have 2 series coming in from these multiple stocks. So we want to compare these. Actually, I'm going to click F1 on. I'm going to control click this one here, and I'm going to see the dates are kind of not looking good. So we're gonna rotate them a little bit, and go to the x-axis, and we're just going to give a little bit of label rotation to those dates. Maybe I'll rotate them like this. Okay. And so next we're going to go bring in our 2 charts. I'm hitting F4 to bring this back. So next thing, we're going to bring in the multiple stocks, and we're going to compare these 2 stocks. So I'm going to go look at my multiple stocks, and we're going to take the date, and we're going to compare the close of Apple and NVIDIA. So we're going to say create class link, again, group sum, and I've got those, and again, I'm going to create a line chart. So I just go chart, new line chart, and it looks like I did it backwards. So what did I do here? I want to have the input be the labels is going to be the date, and the values is going to be the close. And let's see, that should have fixed it up. Yep, there we go. So there's my close for Apple, and then we're going to compare that with the close for NVIDIA. So we click on this edit. When you automatically create a chart, it's clicking on this edit area, and you can have multiple inputs here just by hitting plus. And I'm just going to call this one Apple, and this one I'm going to call NVIDIA, and then we're going to take the same. The time is going to be the same. Oops. Copy that here. Copy, paste, and the values. We're just going to go back to multi-stocks. Is going to be this column here, and hit click update, and then we can see our two charts. And we're just going to look at these. I'm going to make the Apple one in red. If we look at the lines, I'm just going to make this one red for no reason because it's Apple. Okay, I'll stick this over here, and we'll look at our dashboard. Drag that in. Okay, so far looking pretty good. I want to adjust this a little more. I want to create some more space on the bottom there. I don't want it to be just so, I don't want it to be so, hold on, so tight on the bottom there. Just adjust that over a little bit. A little more space this way. Okay, that's looking better. Okay, so now let's start on our widgets. So the first widget we're going to do is we're going to come in here, and we're going to make a checkbox combo. So we're going to select a checkbox combo here, and we're going to put it on the transaction data on the column for the location, the state, right here. So we hit enter. And so you can see now we've got this checkbox combo for all our states. Now we've got another one that's like that. We're just kind of going over the different options you have here. So the other way we can do this is the same thing. We're just going to do another widget here. We're just basically showing you the widgets. I'm going to do a checkbox combo where it's a auto filter. And so this will just take all the values. I'm going to go select the same column in there, and this will select all the states. But this one, you can only have one actively selected. Whereas this one, you can select none or select all, and you're ready to go. So that's just some of the options that you can do. Okay, in this middle one, we're going to do something more interesting. We're going to set our filters here. So this one is called combo set filters. And what we're going to say is our first combo is we're going to do this for the different prices here. And this is going to be linked to the transaction data. And so we're going to say these different amounts. We just want to filter these preset amounts so we know what they are. So the first one is 10. The second one is 25. And the final one is 100. And these are the prices we have. And just going to close that. So let's just publish this to just see how our thing is working at first. So I'll go here, widget 01. Okay, publish that. And you can see there's our dashboard. You can see the filtering affecting so I'm affecting the transaction data. And here, if I just say, okay, just in Alaska, or I turn that off, you can see I can also deselect a bunch of these. And it's pretty interesting that it can be affecting one another, and that this is all going to work. We can also filter, if we want to come in here, we could say, okay, just select the things that are $10, which is this basic monthly, or the $25, or the 100, or all. So all those widgets worked great. We're going to go back into our studio, and we're going to start on the next widget. So the next widget, we're going to do value ranges. So in here, we're going to go select the widget, which is going to be combo value ranges. And here, we're going to say, let's just select some different values. So we're going to say Apple between different values, Apple between 50 and 100. And so we'll set the min as 50 and the max is 100. And here we're going to have Apple more than 55. More than 55. And we're not going to set a max, we're just going to set a min. 55, and I'm going to wire this up, which is going to be wired to my stocks, and I'm going to wire that to the Apple close. And so it's pretty cool. That's just going to go in there and filter those. If we go look at that, we'll replace it. So then you can see the filtering of both the stocks and of the chart of the transaction of the stocks over here. So we'll move on to our next one. This one we're just going to make a slider. This is one of the coolest, the interactive slider. So here we're going to pick a UI widget select slider, and we're just going to do a regular slider, not an integer slider. And we're going to go between 0 and 100. That's going to be good. And we're just going to select, I've got to wire that up. And we're going to set it up to over here in our transaction, our stock data. We're going to set that to, again, to Apple. And if we publish that, here we go. So now you can see when we move this, you're going to adjust the price of this. And if I hit F4, I can move this in interactive mode. You can see the stock. Of course, it doesn't go below 55, so we could tune the values for that better. But you get the idea. We can interactively adjust the ranges and the values that we want to do. And so let's go for our next one. Next one here, we're going to come in, and this one we're just going to do a formula, and we're just going to sum. We're going to just call this one number of transactions, and we're going to say equals sum, and we're going to get this off of our transactions, and this is just going to give the actually I got to go back. Okay, here equals sum. Well, actually we want count. If we're doing counting transactions, count, and we'll count. It doesn't really matter what column. We should pick a numeric one. We don't want the zeros at the end. So that's working good. And so the final widget we're going to make is this. It's called a bunch of date presets. So here we're going to come in and select combo date presets. It's actually at the top. And so here we can do this sort of range between different dates. And we've got a bunch set by default. This is actually the ones in the example. So you can see it's using this Excel formula eDate, and it's setting a range between today and 1 month back, 2 months back, 12 months back, and 24 months back. And so we've got to wire this to our stock column, multiple stocks, and to the date column. And there we go. So then when we go publish this, we can see the number of transactions. For example, if we set Alaska, we see how many transactions we have in Alaska. We see the date preset in the last 2 years. We can see interactively adjust the stocks. All these widgets are wired up. I hope you found this helpful.